Hey, welcome to the channel Collector's Life for me. So today we're going to be checking out a trio of Thundercats figures. So first off, we have the Wilykat and Willy Cat figures from Mattel's collector's line. So here we have Wilykat, Willy Cat, and then we have Tygra from the more recent Super7 line of Thundercats. So we'll start by showcasing Wilykat and Willy Cat from the Thundercats Classics Mattel line. So these are 1/12 scale figures. These are the Thunderkittens, as some might call them. They were a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from the Third Earth Collector's line by Mattel. They came out back in 2016. I honestly can't remember what they retailed for then. I know it was reasonable, but they have not reproduced these, and Super7 hasn't remolded these figures yet. I don't know if they will. I mean, I can't imagine they won't, but they are, I think, 5 waves deep, and they still haven't reproduced these figures. And so their aftermarket value now is somewhere between that $200 and $300 range, new in the package. These figures came as a 2-pack. So you can see both the figures here. Both figures come with these awesome hoverboards. So here's Wilykit's hoverboard here. And these little translucent stands that are detachable. I'm not going to detach them because I'd be worried I would break it, but it is possible. We'll show off Willy Cat's board here. So even though these look exactly like surfboards pretty much, they are in fact hoverboards. So you can see over time from the shelf wear, just where the feet placement are for Willy Cat, you can see it rubbing the paint away. Otherwise, these are pretty well done. Nice little, not too detailed paint jobs, but pretty well done paint jobs on these with the Thundercats logos. We'll start with Wilykit's accessories. So here you can see she's holding her whip, pink whip. She also comes with a version that can attach to her hip here on the back side. There's just a little peg that inserts into, which is pretty cool. The paint job could use a bit more detailing to make it look better, but otherwise it's a neat accessory. And then Wilykat comes with 4 hands total. She comes with this little tiny open hand, left hand, this kind of trigger finger looking right hand, and then she has a right hand that can hold her whip, and then a trigger finger type left hand. I will have to say, be very careful with these peg joints. They can be difficult to get out, and if you break them, there's probably no replacing them. Overall, I really like these figures. I think they did a great job on the head sculpt. You know, they have their signature hairstyles, which were awesome. You can see she's got the kind of skunk type stripe going all the way down the back of her hairstyle there. They did only come with 1 head sculpt, so these would have been really amazing if they had 2 head sculpts. They have smaller joints, obviously, because they're smaller figures than the other Thundercats figures, so they're not as posable, especially in the hip area. They do swivel here, but it's almost like they're missing an extra joint that would give them a little more posability in their lower body. For the most part, I mean, you just stick them on their hoverboards and they look pretty cool. They do have the back and forth ball ankle with a little bit of rotation. Now we'll check out Willy Cat. So here's Willy Cat. He's got his little kind of whip bola here with 2 little balls at the end. And he also comes with this extra hand that has some, these little balls, they're like chemical projectiles that they use. I think Willy Cat's the one who actually makes them. So you can see he's got this like handful of those little chemical balls, and there's some smoke, so maybe they're like smoke grenade type balls. So that's cool. Willy Cat also comes with a whip that's wound up and can be attached to the back of his hip there. And then he comes with 5 hands, the 5th being this additional accessory hand. So we'll put one of his other ones in there. So he's got a left hand trigger finger, a right hand grip, and then kind of a right hand trigger finger, and a left hand open hand. And then let's check out his head sculpt. Once again, big fan of these paint jobs and head sculpts for these figures. I love the, he's got the white mane going into the orange mane. He's got his 2 black stripes coming down the backside there, making a V. Posability is the exact same. This particular figure, his ankle joints might be a little weaker because every now and then he slides around on his board or loses balance. But that might just be a specific issue with this figure because I don't seem to have that issue with Wilykit. So now we'll show off their packaging. So they came in a dual pack, so this is twice the size of the normal Thundercats outer sleeve. So it's got the artwork there on the side, and then this little graphic on the other side. Pretty fun. And this is their inner packaging. So you can see there's the display box if you wanted to keep them in the package. Flip it around. So that's probably my favorite graphic of all of these pack arts. I like how it's got like the thunder base in the background with the other Thundercats, and just a cool picture of the Thunder Kittens there, plus a little description. Now we'll move on to Tygra. So this Tygra figure is from the Super7 line. They did not produce a Mattel Classics figure of Tygra in this scale. So here's Tygra. Big fan of how he looks for the most part. I love his Bengal tiger features, the molding of the body, nice sculpted, chiseled muscles. I think they did a fantastic job on the representation of this figure. So we'll show off his accessories. So he's got this hard plastic whip bola. That is his weapon. You can see some paint chipping there from just where he holds it. So that's kind of a common issue with all these figures. If you're taking the accessories in and out of their hands, the paint is thin, I guess. So it does chip off. But a cool kind of action type weapon styling there. And he actually comes with 3 whip bola accessories. So this is a fully retracted one. Doesn't have any clip for him to, put it on his hip or anything. So he would just have to hold this. But you can see the balls on the end there, retracted. And then the third one is this kind of claw style there with a loose rope or thread that, if you want, I guess if you wanted to position it to where he's like holding a part of it with one hand and the other with the other hand, looking like he's gonna throw it out. I guess that's kind of cool. But there you go, the same gold handle. And my favorite style is this rigid hard plastic one though. This figure comes with 6 hands. So you have these 2 left hands. The difference is going to be the hinge point. One's a horizontal, one's a vertical. And then you have a right hand grip hand, a right hand kind of open claw hand. Then you have his right hand grip hand that has the horizontal, and you have his claw hand for the left hand. So we'll get a closer look at his face sculpt there. So like most of the Super 7 line. He comes with 2 head sculpts. So this is his exposed teeth sculpt, a little more action pose. And then this one here where his mouth is closed, he actually looks a little happier here. See the back side there with the white detailing and the tiger striping on the top. So one issue I did notice with this figure is there's some pretty noticeable issues with the paint job. So the detailing is decent, but like if you look right here, might be tough to see, but it almost looks like maybe there was an error in the paint jobs on these and somebody had to go back afterwards and brush some paint on, because it is just brushed paint there. But it looks like it was done after the fact. You can also see in his stomach, if you can see close enough, like this, that's like the color of his skin showing through. So it's almost like they put too thin of a layer of the blue paint on his abs here. So I mean, it makes it look like he has chiseled abs, but if you look, they're orange. So it's, you know, I don't think that was done intentionally. I don't see why his body coloring would be showing through. And it's the same thing on his back here, on his backside. So those are a couple issues. And then there is a little bit of paint chipping you can see there where, like I said, that was maybe the issue on this other hand, and then they went through and they somebody took a little bit of paint, but it's almost not even like the right color match paint. So I would say overall, great figure. I love the representation that they got of Tygra. I mean, he looks just exactly like he does in the show. But it looks like the paint execution was possibly a quality control issue for this particular mold. Now we'll check out the Super 7 packaging. So you've just got the standard cardboard colored shipper with the name Tygra on it. No graphics or anything. Then you have the actual toy packaging. So you've got the Thundercats logo there with Tygra. Top slides off. So if you keep them in the package, these look great when displayed in the package. And then on the back side, you've got another cool graphic, and then some information on the character. So big fan. I think, you know, these being kind of the staple characters of the Thundercats, if you are collecting these, you kind of have to have the Thunderkittens, Tygra, Lion-O, Chitara, and Panthro. For me, those would be pretty much the standard of figures that are must-haves. Mumra would be the other one if you're going beyond the Thundercats, and then beyond that, it's a bunch of, you know, secondary characters, whether you like that particular character or not. I'm a big fan of the mutants, so for me, having all the mutants is kind of a big deal. These are definitely a must-have for any Thundercats collector. Retail, I think on the Super 7s now, they're around $55, so they are expensive. So you got to kind of be a hardcore collector on these, especially with some of the quality control issues that they have. But I think for the most part, the figures still capture the essence of the original classic Thundercats. And on top of that, they're the best 1/12 Thundercats figures you can get. You know, I don't even know if another company will attempt them later down the road. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and beyond that, enjoy the rest of your day.